In order to turn a blank sheet of paper into a work of art, you first need to mess it up permanently. You see, the first step of every origami model is to create a foundation of pre-creases. These are folds that immediately get unfolded and leave marks that can't be undone. Some of them might feel more like a scar or a mistake, but eventually you realize that these wasted lines are actually what allow new folds to fall neatly into place. And gradually, the paper goes from a mess of creases into a finished work of art. It's only because the paper went through this messy, complicated phase that the model turns out so well at the end. But until then, you're kind of stuck in this limbo, where you have the potential to become something, but you're just not quite there yet, and you feel lost. And even if you've never touched a piece of paper in your life, maybe that feeling sounds familiar to you. Last year I graduated from college, but honestly I still don't really know who I am or where I'm going in life. I definitely changed a lot through college. But I feel like I came out less like a finished model and more like this incomplete base. Say this piece of paper is me. Every single fold that has brought this piece of paper to the base it is now is another change to bring me to the person that I am today. Perhaps the biggest change in who I am is that through friends and the community around me, I found my faith, and I saw for the first time what it looks like to follow Christ. At the same time though, I also found my flaws, and I saw for the first time the hidden thoughts that consume me, or the subtle ways that I put myself before others. I also did a lot of side quests, which were a lot of fun, but in the end they just tempt me to place my worth in things that don't really matter. And then I got into my dream PhD program, which seemed great at first, but as soon as I got here, doors started closing left and right, some due to funding, and I still have no idea what exactly I'm going to do here. And even though I still think I'm doing okay overall, in the back of my mind there's still that voice in my head that says, if you truly are doing everything right, then why are you still single? So that's why I feel like my life story is kind of like this incomplete base. I've got a lot to work with, but I don't even know who I'm supposed to become, let alone have the instructions for how to get there. If it were entirely up to me to put my own life together, I'd be cooked. But look at this model for a sec. Look how intricate the layers are, and how precise the geometry had to be for everything to line up. Did the paper turn into this on its own, just by random crumbling? Or was the paper intelligent enough to somehow fold itself up like that? Clearly, we would say that an artist had to carefully form it like this. Now, it's possible to understand how all the layers of this crease pattern come together, but when I try to introspect into the layers of myself, and my hopes, my dreams, and my feelings, my sinfulness, how I relate to God and to others, the real motives deep down behind everything I do, there's just too many layers for me to say that I am my own doing. So just as how this piece of origami must have been formed by a folder, I too must have been shaped by a creator. I believe in a God who says that we are his workmanship, created to do good. So I know that he's got a crease pattern for my life that's just out of my sight. And what currently looks like a mess of creases in my heart is actually the setup for something better that he's been planning all along. So, what's my life story? I don't really know yet, any more than I know what this base is going to turn into. But I do know that my heart is in the hands of my creator. And I'm far from perfect right now, but I know that one day he'll finish what he started, and he'll make a good work out of my soul. And I want you to know that if you're feeling incomplete, or lost, or just messy on the inside, that it's okay, because you too are a work in progress.